everyone. My name is Quinn. My pronouns are they, them, and welcome to my channel, Lucid Moons. Today we are going to be looking at some deck pairings for spring, and it's also just a follow-up to my fall deck pairings video that I did last year. So I will also link that below just in case you're curious. But when I was preparing for this video, I really thought, like, what is spring energy? What does spring mean to me? And really spring exists on a spectrum, and it depends on where you live, you know, in terms of the seasonal energy. But spring can start really cold and gray and gloomy. Some parts of the world, it's like windy and dark and like freezing. When I lived in northern Arizona, it would sometimes snow all the way into May. So spring was cold. Where I live now, spring is hot. I live in southern Arizona. We don't really have much of a spring this year. It's been really dry. Luckily, it rained a little bit and it cooled off this past week, and it's been just absolutely lovely and beautiful. But a couple weeks ago, it was up above 100 degrees already. So, you know, in terms of like the actual realities of spring, it's a wide range, right? It starts with that cold winter and it ends in this full bloom leading into summer. And it really does represent new life and new growth. And I think the deck pairings that I'm going to show you today are a reflection of that. I chose a lot that have a lot of nature imagery, plant energy, some animals. When I think of spring, I also think of a lot of mythical creatures for some reason. Like, obviously I think of fae and fairies. I also think of dragons, so you might see some mythical creatures in these deck pairings today. And also I think spring is about fertility, and there's this sexiness and this eroticism to spring, and so I tried to reflect that element a little bit as well in at least one of these pairings. So without further ado, let's jump right in and start looking at the first deck pair. So this first pairing we're going to look at is the Faceted Garden Oracle by Mack, one of my favorite oracle decks, and this is the Enchanted Tarot by Amy, Zerner, and Monty Farber. I thrifted this deck and it came in this really lovely bag that fits it so perfectly. So we're gonna look at the backs first. Shout out to Simply Han. I guess I inspired them to create their series pairing decks based only on their backs, because I guess I was like looking at backs in one of my videos, and I just thought that that was such a fun idea. I'm gonna have to do a VR to them at some point. But wow, yeah, I feel like these backs actually look really nice together. I feel like it's giving spring. So I love giant cards like this. I know not everyone does, but they're just so fun. Okay, we'll make sure everything's in the frame here. So the Faceted Garden Oracle is obviously just such a beautiful deck. It screams spring energy. It's all focused on nature and garden elements. It only has titles for the most part, not a lot of keywords, but I really love it because it really helps me use my intuition. The guidebook just gives you a little tiny bit to go off of, not much, and the rest is up to you. And I don't have any problem with decks like that. You know, I love a good like classical expansive keyword oracle deck. You'll see many of those today, but I also really love decks that challenge me a little bit. I don't mind decks that make me rely on the guidebook, etc. And also this Enchanted Tarot is newer to my collection. I thrifted it like I mentioned, but I knew about this deck. It was on my radar for quite a while, and I guess on some level I knew that it was fabric tapestry, but it wasn't until I actually got the deck, sat down, read the guidebook, that I realized that each one of these was a fabric collage that Amy Zerner created. And I think they said it was like, I can't remember the dimensions, but it was like a pretty large size tapestry, like maybe like the size of like a poster or something like that. And I'm so astonished. Like, this is amazing. I have no idea how someone could take the time to make 78 fabric tapestries in that way, and for it to turn out just so beautiful. Such an iconic deck. It's perfect for spring. It's very romantic. It's very great for relationship readings. Has all these beautiful pastel colors. And yeah, it just really makes me feel my spring vibes. I feel like these two art styles complement each other really well. They're both collage. Also, just want to point out, Mack has such a distinct collage style. I don't even know how she does it, but I'm also just so impressed with her artistry. I'm a huge fan of collage art, and I have quite a few collage tarot decks. But yeah, this is just absolutely stunning. Let's look at one more. All right, there you have it. This is the Enchanted Tarot and the Faceted Garden Oracle. Let's take a look at the next deck pairing. All right, the next two decks we're gonna look at is an iconic mass market pairing, which we love, super accessible. We have the Earth Angels Message cards by Amanda Clark. I bought this deck really just for the artwork because I'm a really big fan of Amanda Clark's art. I think it's just stunning, and it just transports me to such a calm, peaceful place. And I feel the same way about this Tarot Landscapes deck. This is by Yoshi, the art, and then it's edited by Francesca Matteoni. So yeah, let's take a look. Oh, there definitely is a title card in here somewhere. Oops, well, we may find it. I always do that. I like mix in the extra cards and title cards. I shuffle them in on accident. I am just beginning the process of edging this deck. There's like 4 cards and I got bored. So we'll set those aside just for the sake of not getting them lost. So for the Earth Angel Messages cards, it's this kind of deck that has a message on the back, like an affirmation, quick little message, which this is the only deck I currently have like this. I did have another deck in the past. Oh, I found the title card. I did have another deck like this in the past, and I don't particularly love this. I do find most of these messages, like, they're sweet. They're definitely pretty fluffy in my opinion, a little woo-woo kind of vibes, which is not always a bad thing. But the reason why it wasn't a deal breaker for me is because it does give you just a general keyword on the front. And there's no guidebook for this deck, but most of these keywords are pretty expansive. Not all of them, some of them are kind of weird, but I can live with it. And also, like I said, I love this artwork. Oh, the backs, we have to, oh, well, that one doesn't have a back. Well, so, but I will show you the back for the Tarot Landscapes. It's pretty, it's simple, it's kind of soothing. Not my favorite, but nothing wrong with it. So I have to give credit to Sylvia over at Fairlight Tarot for this one. I saw this pairing on Instagram, and weirdly, I was having a hard time finding a pair for the Tarot Landscapes deck, which I didn't expect, but it's kind of unique, I guess. And this is just such a perfect pair. So since we have actual keywords on some of these, let's take a look. So we have 7 of Cups, Rebirth, and King of Swords. Very beautiful. This is very much a nature vibe. Knight of Pentacles, Law of Attraction, and Queen of Swords. Okay, that's very interesting. 5 of Pentacles, Tree Lady, Wheel of Fortune. Obviously, Tree Lady, I don't know what that means, but we can kind of... So that's how I would use this deck. For most of these cards, like the ones like Rebirth and Protection, like, you know, I would just probably not even look at the backs, but for something like this, I'd be like, okay, what is Tree Lady? When we have to work hard and save our resources and money, we can also treat ourselves once in a while to keep our momentum going. Now is the time for a well-needed holiday and rest. You have worked hard and deserve a gift. Now is the time to treat myself. 5 of Pentacles. Oh, Wheel of Fortune. Interesting. Maybe it's not time to treat yourself. All right. We have Autumn Equinox with the Ace of Swords and the High Priestess. Ooh. The Empress, Transform, and Justice. Wow. That's beautiful. Eight of Swords, Faith, and the Page of Cups. We have Judgment, Vision, and the Six of Swords. Wow, I love that. Yeah, these really just, obviously aesthetically they work really well, but I feel like the readings are also really, like, they really speak together well. We have the Magician, Illumina, and the Two of Pentacles. Illumina, I know that is like third person of illuminate in Spanish, but is that an English word? A great celestial light shines on your life. I'm like, okay, here's where we get the little woo stuff. Allow the brilliance of the cosmos to fire your inspiration. Be open to an epiphany and allow light to shine into all dark corners. Open your being to the divine and sacred in all that surrounds you. Allow it to permeate the very core of your being. Divine light pervades me. Okay, I don't love that message for me personally, but I think this idea of like light and seeing the light in all things, letting light into your life, like I can get behind that, right? I'm very much a secular reader for the most part, so I don't super like celestial light is coming into your life for an epiphany. I'm like, no, thank you. Okay, so the Magician, Illumina, and the Two of Pentacles. Okay, let's look at one more here. Page of Pentacles, Homeward. Oh, and the Nine of Cups. Wow, that is so beautiful. I adore that beautiful little message. Okay, we'll leave it on this one since it was a good one. And this was the Tarot Landscapes and the Earth Angels Messages cards. Something like that. I'll write it all down below. Let's take a look at the next deck. So when I think of springtime, I also am drawn to inner child energy, maybe some inner child work. And for me, inner child work is, it's kind of, it can encompass a lot of different things, right? Like sometimes it's just finding like joy and playfulness and embracing that inner child and like nurturing and nourishing that inner child, enjoying things that your inner child would enjoy and things like that. And other times it can be like really, really heavy, like deep, dark shadow work, I think for most of us. Yeah, for sure. So I really love this pairing. This is a new deck to me, and I got it to be friends with the Playful Heart Tarot because this is one of my favorite decks. Definitely, it brings out the inner child in me, and I would say that it is a mostly playful, joyful, kind of happy inner child kind of vibe, but it's not all fluff. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. Like it definitely has some more difficult cards in here. It doesn't shy away from difficult emotions and things like that. So I feel like it's a great inner child work deck for this type of year because, like I said, it really brings out that playfulness, joy. It brings out that inner child within me in a mostly positive and nurturing way, but it, you know, it's not just all fluff, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just like breeze over the difficult stuff. And so this is by Kitten Chops, and this is by, this is the Dreaming Oracle by Cara, Roxanne, and Melissa Chianta. So this is a UK deck. I was able to verify it and get an authentic copy from a local US distributor because otherwise the shipping was going to be crazy. I love these backs. They are so lovely. Let's take a look at Playful Heart. I can't remember what edition this is. It's not like the first one. Maybe the second or third. I don't know which edition they're on right now. Okay, these decks are kind of actually working for me with these purples coming through. Playful Heart was also a really, really challenging deck for me to pair, and I love pairing my decks. I love pairing my decks. I have so much fun. Like this brings me so happy to play with my decks in this way. But yeah, so I was really happy when I discovered this lovely deck online. So you can get this on Etsy, and I will try to remember to link below the California shop that I purchased it from. if I remember. Just in case any of you are also in the US and you're interested in purchasing this deck, but you don't want to ship from the UK. It's crazy. Okay, so, wow. Beautiful. We have the Tower, Grief, and the Nine of Pentacles. That is a really, like, there you go. Like, that's not a fluffy, not a fluffy one right here. But I forgot to mention that I also chose this Dreaming Oracle because it also feels very inner child to me, and kind of marketed itself as a dream work deck, which is not something I really do at this time. And I've only worked with it a little bit. It's brand new. It's like probably the most recent deck in my collection. But from the few readings I've done with it using the guidebook, it didn't really have too much of a focus on dreams, so it's totally usable as like a regular oracle deck, and that's how I'm mostly planning to use it. Okay, we have the Fool, Topsy-Turvy, that's a really fun title, and the King of Wands. Wow, look at how these pair really well. The Emperor, Transformation, and the Hermit. Wow. Okay, Ace of Wands, Protection, and the Ace of Pentacles. I love how these colors are just so vibrant, so like much bright sunshine, fire. So fun. The Star, Taming, and the Eight of Cups. We have this like bird here, bird theme. Very interesting. Oh, and I didn't even notice there's a little like hedgehog down here. The bird is like on top of the hedgehog. Okay, I love that. Ooh. The Devil, Birth, and Eight of Pentacles. This is a really interesting combo. I'm really into that. Okay, let's look at one more just because this one is so fun. We have the Eight of Swords, Perspective, and the Queen of Cups. Wow. Yes. Yeah, I love this. This is so fun. And like I said, it's not shying away. Like, just because it's an inner child kind of joyful, colorful duo, it's definitely not shying away from some heavier and more deep themes in some of these messages coming through. So yay, I love this one. This is the Playful Heart Tarot and the Dreaming Oracle. Okay, this next pairing is a very special one. I have the Heart's Eye and the Eye of the Soul. So this is an oracle by Olivia Rose. This is a tarot by Charlotte Mui, and they go by Banana Rolls. This, I'm not gonna lie to you all, this is not a cheap investment, okay? This, I'm pretty sure it's still available, but it's a pricey deck. So keep that in mind. I'm literally just crazy, but it's a really special one to me. It's one of my faves, and I love using it. And check out these backs, you guys. Talking about, here's my little where's the certificate of authenticity? Oh, here it is. That comes in each one. So check out these backs together. Now talk about pairing decks based on the backs. I mean, it makes sense because they both have eye, Heart's Eye, and I have the Soul, but they're just so pretty together. Okay, so I'm not sure if this oracle deck is out of print. It might be. I have both. Well, I have two of Olivia Rose's oracle decks. I'm gonna give this a quick little shuffle. I have this one, which is fairies, and then I have their mermaids deck as well. Okay. So we have the Guardian of Pentacles, Nourish, and the Seven of Wands. I think, yeah, 16. Okay, there are some extra court cards in this deck. So the Guardian, I believe, is its own thing. It's not like a renaming for the King or anything like that. Oh my gosh. The Devil, Embrace, and the Guardian of Swords. Interesting. We have another Guardian card, but I just love how these colors are so soft yet vibrant. It really feels like spring to me. There's a lot of mythical kind of creatures in the Eye of the Soul. And this deck is obviously based on these beautiful little fairies. Wow. I love this. Oh my God, the artwork is so stunning. So we have Death, Balance, and the Page of Swords. Oh my goodness. I'm in love. This was funny too because I bought this deck and I didn't know what to pair it with, and it's just such a perfect pair with the Eye of the Soul. We have the Page of Cups, Power, and the Moon. I love there's quite a few little clown girls in this deck, and I just love it so much. I love it. Okay. King of Wands, Trust, and Three of Cups. The minor arcana are, well, like the pips are in black and white, which I think is really interesting. King of Wands, Trust, Three of Cups. Beautiful. Three of Wands, Love, and the Star. Look at that artwork. It's so beautiful. Okay, one more just for fun because I'm loving it. Ace of Swords, Fulfilled, and the King of Cups. That is just so beautiful. I'm in love with this deck combo. Yeah, so perfect for spring. Just feels so alive. Feels like coming alive, coming into the light, coming into color, bursting into color. I just love it. So this is the Eye of the Soul Tarot. It has a French name, Loeile de Lem. I don't know. I'm not going to try to butcher it. Translates to Eye of the Soul. I'll write it down below. And this is the Heart's Eye Oracle. Okay, on the topic of mythical creatures and mythical creatures I kind of associate with spring, I feel like dragons are very spring-like. They don't have to be, they can be year-round, but something about springtime and dragons is just, it just works for me. And so I have the Universal Dragon Oracle here by Carla Morrow. This is another mass market for mass market pairing, okay. And this is the gorgeous Tarot of the Kingdoms by Paige, Ozma, Ashmore. So this is a new deck to me. This was not even, I didn't even know that this deck existed for a really long time, which is pretty crazy because tarot is my special interest, and especially mass market decks. I thought I knew all there was, but I definitely did not. And this is just such a beautiful deck, and it has quite a few different fantasy and mythical creature kind of cards, artwork. And yeah, so this is a really, really fun, I keep hitting my camera stand here. This is a really fun spring combo. Universal Dragons is actually my partner's oracle deck. She bought it a while ago, but I stole it. Just kidding, it's still hers. She has a small collection of decks, and I use her decks more than she does generally. So I love these backs on the Tarot of the Kingdoms. I think that these colors are so beautiful, so spring-like with these pastels and this beautiful sun and moon. This is one of the artworks from the front that they slapped on the back. I have quite a few decks that do that. It's not my favorite. It's not like a huge deal, but I don't love it. These backs are not really like working for me. That's fine. The fronts are really cool. Okay, so this Universal Dragons Oracle, I think is underrated as well as the Tarot of Kingdoms. So here's your underrated mass market for mass market deck pairing, okay? Let's adjust a little bit here. Okay. So we have Judgment, Meditation, and the Page of Water. Look at this beautiful Judgment card with this person cave painting. This feels like tapping into this ancient primal kind of like energy. I'm really into that. The Sun, Hibernation, and King of Fire. Wow. So I think that the artwork for these ones, like it works. Like it's not a bad aesthetic pair. It's maybe not like the best in the world, but something about them just really speak together for me. Like we have the Moon, Imagination, and the Ace of Water. That is stunning. I love the borders on the Tarot of the Kingdoms. They're so fun. I believe they're based on the suit. And I love this beautiful pregnant mermaid for the Ace of Water. Because there's a lot of mermaids in this deck, I could also see myself using it in the summer because I tend to work with mermaid energy in the summer. But something about the kind of like pastel quality to it does feel like spring. Oops. The Star, Growth, and Queen of Fire. Yes, I feel like these dragons are just really at home in this like fantasy world that we're seeing in the Tarot of the Kingdoms. Two of Water, protect your ideas and strength. Look at this gorgeous. Oh my God, I love that strength card. The Universe, Listen to Self, and the Ten of Earth. Wow. That's stunning. We have the World, Knowledge, and oh, interesting. So there is both a universe. This must be an extra card. There's also a world and a universe in this deck. I didn't know that. So we have the World, Knowledge, and Nine of Earth. Oh my God, whale. I love whales. Ace of Air, Grounding, and the Hanged Man. Because that's interesting because these don't feel like grounded. You know, these cards don't feel like grounded. They feel very airy. So maybe some grounding is needed. I love that. Okay, one more. Just because it's so fun. Queen of Earth, Patience, and Ten of Air. Wow. This is a fucking gorgeous Queen of Earth card. Such a cool combo, such a fun deck combination here, and super affordable. I got this used on Amazon. I mentioned before, a big part of my collection is used or thrifted decks. Some of them I just find locally, and some of them I do purchase on places like Amazon. I know Amazon's not great, but the way I see it is, you know, it's good for the environment, and I'm getting to bring in these decks and give them a new home and give them a new life. And I try to do the same with decks that I no longer am interested in. So some people are like, oh, it has bad energy, like it has other person's energy that used it. And I don't really feel that way. I kind of like it. I think it feels magical when decks have been used and they carry that energy. And of course you can always cleanse them and do all that kind of stuff if that's your thing. So yeah, this is the Tarot of the Kingdoms and the Universal Dragon Oracle. Talking about dragons. I have another dragon-centric deck pairing for you. We have the Herbal Astrology Oracle by Adriana, Ayales, and Josephine Klerks, and the Smoke, Ash, and Embers Tarot by Three Trees Tarot. This is the pocket edition of the Oracle. I got this last year during the Hay House sale, but I only just used it for the first time this past March. Okay, we're having a moment. I usually struggle with these. The Three Trees Tarot's boxes. I love them, but they're toit. Okay, so here are our backs together. I feel like they work. I'm not mad at it. Yeah, those are fun. I love Three Trees Tarot's decks. This is probably my favorite. I love dragons, and these dragons are the cutest I've ever seen in my fucking life. They're just so cute. There are some cards in here that read more like autumnal, for sure. But overall, I feel like this deck does give me a spring vibe. I don't know. You can disagree with me, and that's fine. And I can't believe I slept on this Herbal Astrology Oracle for so long because it's so beautiful. I love the artwork, and I love little tiny pocket-sized Oracle decks. I feel like these complement each other really well in the color palette. I like this kind of like muted colors with lots of like browns and earth tones. To me, that does feel very spring. Maybe like an earlier spring when it's still kind of cold. And okay, let's look at some of the messages. We have Ace of Cups, Patience, and King of Wands. Look how cute this little baby is. I love cute dragons. Okay, we have Four of Pentacles, Inner Peace, and the Magician. Wow, okay. 10 of Wands, Offering, and Justice. This Justice card cracks me up. It's so freaking cute. Oops. The Hanged Man, Revival, and Knight of Cups. Cups. I'm dying. The cup suit. I'm dying. It gets me every time. Okay. Ace of Wands, Grace. Two of Cups. Yeah, I'm loving this. Five of Swords, Coca, or Foresight, sorry. And Wheel of Fortune. Wow, I love that. One more. Two of Wands, Harmony, and the Star. It's just a beautiful combination. I really love this one. Makes me feel my spring, all my spring energy. So this is the Smoke, Ash, and Embers Tarot and the Herbal Astrology Oracle. Okay, I love this pairing. This is the Old Ways Magic Oracle by Naomi Cornock. This is the older edition with less cards, unfortunately. And this is the Stolen Child Tarot by Monica L. Knighton, one of my favorite tarot decks. Okay. Oh my gosh, slippery linen cardstock on both of these. Even the cardstocks are kind of similar, similar but different. I like these backs. I think that like the greens match. Some of my favorite backs. Those are beautiful. So this combination feels very connected to nature and also like fae energy and some like Celtic mythology. Feels very like pagan, feels very magical. This feels like a very magical spring pairing. And you know, the cardstock, they're both like a slippery linen. They're different, but they're like even the cardstock pairs. And you'll notice they both have white borders with a little black outline around the artwork. And even the text kind of looks okay together. Like it's just a perfect pair through and through. It's really funny. It's definitely not a requirement or anything for me. It's just something that I notice. Like these decks just pair like so well throughout. So King of Flame, Journey's End, and Ace of Flame. Beautiful. The High Priestess, Hope, and Justice. Oh my God. It's hitting me already. It's powerful. This artwork just, ooh. Four of Zephyrs, which is air, Heart, and the Emperor. I love this Emperor card. Three of Zephyrs, Protection, Page of Zephyrs. Wow. Wow. I'm obsessed. King of Oak or Earth, Death, and the Eight of Zephyrs. Wow. The Tower, Sovereignty, and the Knight of Oak. Yeah, this is just so magical. Very like witchy, but make it spring and like abundant. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? The Devil, Transform, and the Page of Flame. Wow. The colors. Okay, one more. Strength, Battle Ready with the Morgan here, and the Seven of Brine, or Water. Wow. I'm obsessed. I'm in love with this deck combination. It's such a good one. Really speaks to my intuition. It really gives me some strong intuitive hits here. So this is the Stolen Child Tarot and the Old Ways Magic Oracle. Okay, y'all, I have another mass market for mass market pairing with for you today. So awesome, because yeah, just makes me happy to show mass market options. So we have the Sacred Destiny Oracle by Denise Lynn. This is like an iconic deck that's been around for a while, and this is the Uncommon Tarot by Shaheen Miro and Teresa Reed. Love, love, love this pairing. I feel like the Uncommon Tarot is very versatile. It may have even been in my fall, my autumnal deck pairings, because I feel like it could have, like, it's a year-rounder, okay? It's a year-rounder. But this particular combination does feel very spring-like to me for whatever reason. I love these backs together. They are matching to me. How fun. Sacred Destiny is like, I don't know. I just love this deck. I just love it. Some of the artwork is kind of corny. I took out a couple cards, and that's the thing I like to do with Oracle decks is like, or that anyone can do with Oracle decks for the most part, is like, if there's cards that just aren't speaking to you, like, you don't have to keep them in the deck. So I took out these three because it's not that I don't like the keywords, I just don't like this artwork. It's like overly edited to the point where it's a little too corny. So I took out those three. There's definitely some more corny. There's some more corn and cheese though in this one. Don't worry, don't you worry. It's still corny a little bit, but I think with that adjustment, it just made it just made it work more for me. I don't want to be taken out of it completely. Okay, look how good these look together. Are you kidding me? Okay, we have the Four of Cups, Security, and the Seven of Cups. Yes. There's this richness of color in this tarot deck that I feel like could go any time of year, you know, could definitely see it being fall vibes as well, but this brings out the richness, but it makes it feel fresh. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Okay, Four of Wands, New Beginnings, and the Wheel. Wow. Justice, Flexibility, and the Eight of Coins. Can justice be flexible? I love this. I love this card. See, like some of the cards are like kind of corny, like heavily edited. And this one, it's not to say it's not heavily edited, but like it's so beautiful and serene. Okay, Wise One, which is the Hierophant, Opportunity, and the King of Swords. Nine of Cups, taking wrist, and Knight of Swords. This feels very like, yes. The Tower, miracles in the moon. Oh my God. That's a spicy one. Okay. The Chariot, inner peace, and the Three of Swords. Wow. Very interesting messages coming through for me. Like, these two are just singing. Five of Swords, healing, chaos, and the Three of Cups. Oh my gosh, that is beautiful. Yeah, these ones are just like really perfect. A perfect pair for me. Queen of Swords going forward, and the Two of Coins. Okay, I love this Queen of Swords card. Holy crap. One more. Four of Coins, transformation, Ace of Cups. So lovely. Such a lovely pairing. The Uncommon Tarot with the Sacred Destiny Oracle. Okay, we're going to go with a kind of a different vibe for this one. I have the Iris Oracle and the Moon Power Tarot. This is by Spirit Speak, and this is by Charlie Quintero, or Six Sad Girls. So, Iris Oracle. Let's look at the backs. Love these backs. Oh my God. Yes, the backs look so good together. Stop. That's a winner. That's a winner right there. I could just stare at that. That's so fun. I love the colors. So Iris Oracle is a shadow work deck for me. I love it. I love the Iris. But it has this really pastel color palette that I find really suitable for spring. And Iris Oracle is a deck that I have certainly worked with. I've journaled through most of the deck just as a standalone. And I highly recommend that for anyone who feels interested or feels drawn to the messages or the artwork. To me, they're really potent and they bring up a lot of themes of childhood trauma and like familial tensions, particularly mom trauma. And that's just what I personally get out of them. Other people might look at this and be like, oh, it's beautiful. Like, it's so sweet. You know what I mean? But for me, it's a deck that definitely, it goes deep. So sometimes, since I have really done some work with this deck, some journaling, etc., sometimes I do like to still bring it out and pair it with something a little lighter, a little more fun, a little more playful. And this is such a great pairing for this. So Page of Cups, calm within transformation, or calm within transformation, and Ace of Swords. Let's see, Eight of Pentacles, a fearful world, and the High Priestess. It says, don't panic. Huh, okay. Seven of Wands, a gallery of those who came before. Look, there's a little like Sailor Moon kind of like fairy wand. How fun. And this is like a card captor Sakura looking one. And the Five of Swords. Really fun. The pastel colors with the black background / the black borders just really do it for me. The Fool, everything you need too soon, and the Page of Wands. Like, yes, that's like a perfect little message right there. We've got the Two of Wands, broken and hatched, and the Empress. Very interesting. Love these colors. This is like a feast for my eyes, this color combo. Seven of Cups. It always takes me a little bit to figure out like, where's the symbol? Oh, little cups right here. Seven of Cups, mysterious mother. and the Nine of Cups. Let's look at one more. Ace of Pentacles, Make Believe in the Sun. I love this sun card. It's like a very gothy sun. So yeah, a really fun combo. It has a little bit of darkness, but it has a little bit of playfulness, a little bit of weirdness, a little wackiness, maybe a little bit of sexiness as well in the Moon Power Tarot. So really fun one that I really enjoy working with. Let's look at the next combo. Okay, I'm going for kind of a similar energetic vibe for this next pairing as well. We have the Omni Tarot by Olivia Healy and the Reclaim Oracle by Little Darkness. So kind of like a dark, hard-hitting shadow work kind of deck, at least for me, paired with something really fun, playful, bright, colorful. And I just think these art styles look really fun together as well. So let's check out these backs. I feel like there's like this flame almost mirrors, or not mirrors, it's like opposes. It's like mirrors but opposes at the same time these hands, which is really cool. And there's all these other little like symmetrical elements in here. That's a fun one. Okay. Reclaim, one of my faves. I have the older edition with the crazy cardstock. The Kickstarter edition, the initial one, is the first deck I ever backed on Kickstarter. And I love this amazing tarot deck by Olivia Healy. Such a beautiful deck. Okay, so Three of Wands support and Eight of Wands. I just love this little witch. I love the fashion. This feels like a very fashionable deck. We have the Lovers, Validation, and the Page of Pentacles. Very interesting card combo there. The colors are aligning perfectly in this one. Queen of Pentacles, Power, and the Tower. I love it. I love this Queen of Pentacles with the goats. The Magician, Joy, and the Star. Wow, so lovely. Definitely the bright colors and just the fun vibrance of this deck kind of softens the blow with some of these. Like some of these cards are totally fine, but some of them hit really hard. So it kind of, makes it a little more usable maybe for everyday use when you're not trying to do that deep, heavy work, but you definitely could use it to do that deep, heavy work if you wanted to. So we have the Six of Wands, Confidence, and the Queen of Wands. Yes, I feel like the art styles are like these very stylized images of mostly femmes, kind of like androgynous femmes, which I love. And the colors work as well with the limited color palette here. Wheel of Fortune, Revenge, and Queen of Cups. Wow. And we almost have like a wheel with this wave with like fingers. Interesting. The High Priestess, Pride, and the Seven of Swords. One more. I love this Empress card. The Empress, Disappointment, and the Three of Swords. Wow, well, this feels like you gave your all to someone and you ended up with disappointment. That's what's coming up for me. Really cool combo here. This is the Omni Tarot and the Reclaim Oracle. Okay, so this deck combo I feel like really speaks to kind of that erotic, sexy, empowered kind of vibe of spring. So I have the Goddess of Love Tarot by Gabriela Herzig and Julia Popescu. And we have the Secret Dakini Oracle by, I don't even know. So this is the vintage version of the Sacred Dakini Oracle, which is a mass market oracle deck, very readily available. It's been around forever. I think it was made in the 70s, one of the oldest collage decks. I found this vintage copy being sold for like $20. I thrifted it. So I was like, why not? That's freaking awesome. If you are interested in this deck, I would recommend just, you know, don't spend a ton of money to get a vintage edition, because the vintage one does not come with a guidebook. It just comes with little like keyword cards, right? So I would like to get my hands on a guidebook at some point for this deck. But yeah, I just got it because I thought it was really cool, like to find an older copy. I don't like this box situation, but since it's like an old one, I'm gonna not throw it away. Here's the backs. Here's the Goddess of Love. I did edge mine in this bright red. I'm not usually the best at deck modding, but I do feel like I did a pretty decent job. It's probably my best work so far. I don't know. I don't hate the backs, but I don't love them together. And Secret Dakini is just such a wacky and wild deck. It's a relic from another time. So I think, just remember that. And I love Goddess of Love. It's just so, it's so sexy. It's so beautiful. It's so empowering. Okay, we have the Witch of Swords, Death, and the Crone of Cups. Interesting. Two of Wands, mean and heavy, and the Five of Cups. I love this. I feel like these kind of have a chaotic energy, but a fun energy and a sexy energy. And that's why I like them for springtime. Six of Wands, Shiva or the Pillar of Fire, and the Seven of Cups. Love that pink. Oh, I'm obsessed with the Pentacles suit. Three of Pentacles centering the present and the Maiden of Cups. Yeah, this just, something about this just really does it for me. Seven of Pentacles, as above, so below, and the World. Ooh, I love. The High Priestess, Deep End, and the Nine of Wands. Yes. Witch of Cup, totally bananas, and the Two of Pentacles. Like, it's just so funny. I love it. It's a good mood combo for me, for sure. It brings a smile to my face, makes me giggle, and it's beautiful. Okay. Death, Mercury. Wow, that's beautiful. And the, oh, we got a reversal in here. 10 of Swords. Whoa. That was like so light and funny, and then this one's like, whoa, serious. Love that about tarot, though, and Oracle. Four of Wands, the High Priestess, and the Empress. I love it. All right, let's look at one more. Five of Pentacles, just passing through, and the 10 of Wands. Wow, look at this wing imagery here. That's stunning. So this is the Goddess of Love Tarot, and the my version is the Secret Dakini. It's the old version, but there is a mass market readily available version called the Sacred Dakini Oracle. Okay, so I kind of lost count. I'm not sure. I'm going for 10 deck pairs. I may be one short, or I may be one over or more, but I think this is the last one. And I have the Moonchild Tarot by Danielle Noel and the Luna Botanica Oracle by do we know who it's by? I will list their name down below. Here's the backs. Do not love it when backs have words on them. Not my favorite. Oh my God, a little smudge. Okay, so yeah, these backs are not, obviously because of this, are not the best. But despite these backs that I do not like on this deck, I really, really love this deck. I decided to throw this one here at the end because I feel like it shows a little bit of a different side to spring. Oh, just kidding, this is the Oracle. It's kind of like that colder, more wintry spring, like when things are still kind of gray and colors are just barely starting to come through, like early spring, or maybe depending on where you live, just all of spring. So the Luna Botanica deck is stunningly gorgeous collage work, but it's a botanical deck with like astrological associations and seasonal stuff. So there's moons, like there's the different full moons of the year, as well as botanicals, and it just gives you titles. There's no keywords, which I think I mentioned. It's not a deal breaker for me. It just forces me to slow down and use the guidebook a little bit, but obviously I won't really be able to riff on the meanings too well, so we're just gonna have to appreciate the aesthetics. But I think that this is just a stunning pairing. The Luna Botanica feels very kind of dark, kind of cold, and the Moonchild kind of does too. It has these colors that come through, but overall it's very cool toned. And both of these decks have this beautiful kind of earthy tan color throughout that really speaks to me in terms of spring. Because like I was saying, in early spring, things can feel really kind of like muddy and dry and like brown and kind of gloomy sometimes, but there's still this beauty in that. Wow, look at this. And when I think of Moonchild, you know, like obviously you think of like the pastel pinks and the blues and the purples, but there is this kind of like earthiness to it, this like earth tone theme throughout as well, which is very fitting of Moonchild energy to me because it's of the earth and of the moon at the same time. It's celestial but still grounded. This is amazing. Wow. I really love this combination. I got the Luna Botanica on Etsy. It wasn't one I had ever heard of before. And I think that it's underrated because it's absolutely gorgeous. And the guidebook that comes with it, I have it separate on my shelf, but it's a wealth of information. So if you're someone like me who doesn't know a lot about herbs and botanicals and things like this, it's a good resource, and it does connect it all to astrology, seasonal energy, things like that. Oh my God, I love that. Okay, one more. I don't really like these cards, so one more. I've mentioned it before, I have like a love-hate relationship with the Moonchild Tarot. Beautiful, but it's one of my favorites, but I'm really picky about it. I don't know. So this is a beautiful little combo for us to stop on. So if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Let me know which of these pairs that I showed today was your favorite down in the comments below. And also let me know what is your favorite deck pairing or just decks in general that you're working with this springtime. I would love to hear from you. If you like what you see and you haven't already, give this video a like, subscribe to my channel, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. No matter who you are and no matter where you are, I hope the rest of your day is filled with so much magic and so much joy. Until next time, bye-bye.